Was Batman really killed after being stabbed by the Joker in DC K.O?
Peak fiction incoming.
Well, today you're gonna find out, because we're gonna be covering DC K.O Night Fight issue number 1, aka the newest tie-in issue to DC's latest event, and it is a wild ride from start to finish. So with that being said, as we all know, in the first issue of DC K.O, the heroes were thrown into this giant death trap race, and in the midst of trying to reach the portals that would allow them to qualify for the tournament, Batman realized that instead of trying to play for himself, Clark was helping his fellow teammates qualify by going after one group of Omega demons after another. So he tried getting Clark's head in the game by reminding him of what was at stake, but before he could even finish getting his point across, a massive spear shot by none other than the Joker came flying through the air before impaling him in the chest, because somehow a large portion of the villains managed to escape the Phantom Zone before deciding that they wanted a shot at winning the tournament as well. But did Batman actually die, or did his journey just take a turn into another direction? Well, initially our issue picks up during the past inside Gotham, before the tournament was even in discussion. And while running amongst the city rooftops, listening to the sound of his bones cracking, Bruce began to express that his body wasn't as good as it used to be, stating that even though he was still dedicating his life to the mission, he couldn't deny the fact that his age was betraying him. Nevertheless, he then goes on to explain that he's in pursuit of Professor Pig because him and his circus kidnapped an entire school bus full of kids. But upon arriving to the scene, he quickly realized that he was too late to save all the children, but not because Pig managed to escape or harm anybody, but because he realized that Nightwing, Red Hood, Damian, and Tim had the situation under control already. And upon this realization, he then goes on to say that there was once a time in life where he was alone in Gotham City, but now his family patrolled the streets along his side, and whenever he would watch them work, he couldn't help but see glimpses of himself in different ways. Nightwing was very similar to him in the way that he was just naturally a very good leader. Despite being very rebellious, Jason was a survivor, and although he had sort of a bad habit for always resorting to violence, Bruce actually sort of envied him for this because he was able to sort of embrace his anger in a way that he never could. Tim, on the other hand, was the brains of all the Robins. You know, he was always thinking and planning, and Damian, despite being raised to be a killer by a group of assassins, it was clear that he had a very big heart and a passion for healing others. Nevertheless, we then see the four Robins getting a notification that Mr. Freeze was attacking Gotham Zoo, so they collectively pulled out their grappling hooks and began swinging their way throughout the city so they could put a stop to yet another familiar rogue, as Batman himself then began wondering if it was even necessary for him to watch over Gotham because his sons were already doing an incredible job without his assistance. Our story then circles back over to the past, to the very moment that Batman died in Superman's arms before morphing into a statue of stone. However, unlike Shazam, Blue Beetle, Black Canary, and the other people who didn't qualify for the tournament, soon enough Batman's statue began cracking and crumbling as some sort of strange